Welcome to How to Retire on Time, a show that answers your questions about all things retirement, including income, taxes, Social Security, healthcare, and more. This show is an extension of the book, How to Retire on Time, which you can grab today for free by going to www.howtoretireontime.com, or you can buy a physical copy on Amazon. My name is Mike Decker. I'm the author of the book, How to Retire on Time, but I'm also a licensed financial advisor, insurance agent, and tax professional, which means when it comes to money, dollars, cents, finance, investments, all of it, we can cover it all. Now, that said, please remember this is just a show. Everything you hear should be considered informational, as in not financial advice. If you want personalized financial advice, you can request a wealth analysis from my team today by going to www.yourwealthanalysis.com. With me in the studio today is Mr. David Franson. David, thanks for being here.
Yes, glad to be here.
David's going to read your questions, and I am going to do my best to answer them. You can submit your questions in at any time during the week by texting 913-363-1234. Just save that number in your phone for when you think about it, 913-363-1234, or you can email us at heymike@howtoretireontime.com. Let's begin.
Hey, Mike, if we have changed careers once or twice and now have multiple 401ks, what do you recommend we do with them? Let's assume one of them rolled over into an IRA.
The quick answer you're probably going to hear on all social media, on LinkedIn or whatever experts, quote unquote,
Sure.
they're going to say, roll it out of the 401k and put it into an IRA.
Okay.
And I agree with that in principle. There's a good chance that you're paying more fees in your 401k than you would if you just open up a Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, whatever account, put it in there and bought some ETFs. You'd probably be able to match performance and have lower fees.
Yeah, what are some examples of some of the fees that are in a 401k that are not in like a traditional IRA?
So in a 401k, you've got administrative fees because it's a bookkeeping nightmare. There's a lot of laws and regulations. You've got your ERISA compliance. So it is expensive to manage a 401k. It is. They're not criminal. They're not robbing you or whatever.
Right.
It's just a hassle.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts. I mean, it's usually an employer-sponsored situation, right? And so,
yeah, there's a company, I won't say their name, John something, that does a lot of 401k plans, but they recently got a lot of publicity because a certain person on HBO did a whole bit on 401ks and ridiculed them because they had quote-unquote high fees.
Okay.
They probably could have negotiated a better fee structure, but to run a 401k is very expensive. So I want to be, just from a compliance, from an administrative standpoint, let's be kind to anyone that's running a 401k because it is a lot.
Yeah.
But once you're not tied to it and your money could move, it could be a good idea to roll it out. So instead of paying the administrative fees and all this other stuff, and then the mutual funds in 401ks could have back-end fees, could have 12B1 fees. So all that stuff, you could roll it over into a traditional IRA at Schwab or Vanguard or wherever. Okay, we're impartial to whoever it is, just a good custodian. And then you buy a bunch of low-cost ETFs and stocks. So you basically have the same performance but less fees. That means more money to you. So that is a common option. I get why people do it. Here's the catch.
Okay, I'm ready.
Do you want to retire before 59 and a half or not?
Sounds good on paper.
So if you want to retire, let's say at 56 years old, and you rolled over all of your 401k assets into an IRA, you can't touch that without a penalty. If you keep your assets in a 401k, there's some nuance to this, but in a very simple definition, and you retired after 55, there's something called the rule of 55, which will allow you to take withdrawals from your 401k after the age of 55 without the 10% penalty. But it has to come from your 401k or 403b or whatever.
Okay.
So the reason why I bring up the conflict of interest is because financial advisors, including ourselves in some sense, can be compensated by someone rolling it out of the 401k and then either managing it with a 1% fee or whatever they're going to charge, or put it into an annuity and getting the back at commission, or whatever it is. Maybe they're saying, hey, roll it over and buy some property with a self-directed IRA. Everyone's got a sales incentive to get the funds out of your 401k.
Yes.
But we have to look at your lifestyle plan first.
Yeah.
Do you want the option of retiring beforehand? And if you do, how much income do you need so that we can calculate how much needs to stay in the 401k first? So there is a reason to keep money into your 401k before anything else.
It sounds like the main reason would be if you plan to retire before 59 and a half.
Yeah.
Which is that's the threshold of penalty versus no penalty withdrawals, right?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to pay an extra 10% or not?
I'd prefer not to.
Yeah. So if you're 60 years old or older, or you've no intention of retiring that soon, roll it out.
Then it almost universally makes sense to roll it over. Is that what you're saying?
Almost universally, because for compliance purposes, we never want to give absolutes.
That's right.
This, again, not financial advice. We're just talking here. But yeah, I can't see many reasons why you would want to. I mean, maybe I did a lot of business with Boeing employees. The Boeing employment plan, the VIP that they have up there, their specific situation, they've got some benefits in there that make sense to keep money in there. That's a specific 401k plan that went above and beyond for their employees, that it does make sense. So you just want to make sure you know what you're getting and what you're leaving.
Okay.
So all that been addressed, let's talk about what you could do. If you were to roll it over and you wanted to self-manage, you could buy things at a cheaper rate because you're paying less in fees. If you roll it over and you want a professional to manage it, they can manage your IRA. If you're getting close to retirement and you wanted an annuity, for example, that would be the time to do it. You do not want to buy annuities, in my opinion, at 45 or 50 or 55 years old. It's when you're 5 years away from retirement, you can start to consider it. And the reason why is, for whatever reason, at 45, 50 years old, you start getting invitations to dinner seminars to be pitched an annuity.
We just got one at my house just like last week.
Yeah. And you're 47?
Yeah.
Hey, buy an annuity today.
Yeah.
Remember, risk versus potential reward. If you don't need your money for over 10 years, why are you putting it into an asset that's not going to make more money in the stock market? Insurance products don't make you rich.
Right.
Insurance products don't make you rich. Can I say it again?
Let's one more time for all those up in the rafters. Yeah.
Yeah. Insurance products are not intended to make you rich. You're transferring a risk to an insurance company. So buying an annuity because you're scared of the market, you don't need the funds for over 10 years in most situations. And if you want some protection, then explore something else like a buffered ETF or a structured note, or maybe a lower risk asset for a certain period of time. And then when things settle down, you go back into the market.
So I don't know if you want to talk about what those are, buffered ETF, structured notes.
We don't have time, but go to another show for that one. What was the question again?
Yeah, so the question was, you've got all these multiple 401ks.
Oh, okay.
People change jobs a lot.
Yeah, you've got more investment options outside of the 401k than in the 401k.
Oh, yeah.
So you could open up a self-directed IRA and buy real estate.
Opens a whole new world.
Yeah, you could buy alternative investments. You could go into privately traded REITs. You could do buffered ETFs. You can do all sorts of things. Your 401k has a limited option of what you can invest in.
There's usually, each 401k has kind of like a menu of like a handful of mutual funds, it seems like, from my experience.
Yeah. But remember, before you do anything, put together a lifestyle plan first, work with a fiduciary, but some fiduciaries are really just salespeople with a specific cookie cutter plan. So a holistic fiduciary or a comprehensive fiduciary that can also give you tax advice. Find one of those. Cough, cough, or one of them. Cough, cough.
Right.
But find someone that's going to first put together a lifestyle plan and then look for the efficiencies and then start talking about investments and products. You don't want to put the cart before the horse. That's all the time we've got for the show today. If you enjoyed the show, consider subscribing to it wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for How to Retire on Time. Discover if your portfolio is built to weather flat market cycles, or if you're missing tax minimization opportunities that you may not even know exist. Explore strategies that may be able to help you lower your overall risk while potentially increasing your overall growth and lifestyle flexibility. This is not your ordinary financial analysis. Learn more about Your Wealth Analysis and what it could do for you regardless of your age, asset, or target retirement date. Go to www.yourwealthanalysis.com today to learn more and get started.